Have you ever wondered why you're so hard on yourself? That voice inside your head, always critical, always pushing for more, never quite satisfied with good enough. There's a reason behind this endless pursuit. A reason why some of us spend our lives chasing an impossible standard, and it begins much earlier than you might think. Today, we're going to explore how your childhood quietly shaped this relentless pursuit of perfection. How invisible patterns formed years ago still drive your decisions today. And most importantly, how to finally recognize these patterns and begin to break free. If you're new here, welcome to a space of reflection and emotional understanding. I'm glad you found us. Consider subscribing to join our community of deep thinkers and emotional explorers. Think back to your earliest memories, the way adults responded when you succeeded and when you failed. Perhaps there was a moment when you brought home a test with a high score. Do you remember the reaction? "This is wonderful, I'm so proud of you." Or maybe, "Why not perfect?" What happened to those 2 points? These seemingly small moments shaped everything. For many of us, childhood was a time when we learned that love and approval were conditional, that we were valued not for who we were, but for what we achieved. It's not always obvious or dramatic. Sometimes it's in the subtle nods of approval when you excelled, the slight disappointment in your parents' eyes when you didn't meet expectations, the comparing to siblings or other children. Why can't you be more like? These experiences teach us something profound, that our worth is tied to our performance. Without realizing it, you may have signed an invisible contract with yourself. If I can just be perfect, I will be loved. If I can avoid all mistakes, I will be safe. If I can control everything, nothing will hurt me. This belief system becomes the operating system of your life, running quietly in the background of every decision, every relationship, every risk not taken, every night spent working instead of resting. You became the perfect student, the reliable friend, the exceptional employee, the parent who never drops the ball. But at what cost? The pursuit of perfection is exhausting because it's impossible. It's a mirage that keeps moving further away the closer you think you're getting. And deep down, a part of you knows this, yet you can't stop chasing it. Here's what makes perfectionism so painful. The very thing you think will bring you love and security is actually keeping you from experiencing true connection. When you're constantly performing, you're not truly present. When you're hiding your flaws, you're not being authentic. When you're afraid of judgment, you build walls instead of bridges. The need to be perfect creates a distance between you and everyone else. Between you and yourself. It whispers that you're never enough and never will be. It keeps you in a constant state of anxiety and self-criticism, always comparing, always measuring, always falling short. If you've been nodding along to these words, know that you're not alone. This pattern affects so many of us, silently shaping our lives from the shadows. If you're finding value in these reflections, I'd love to have you join our community. Just tap subscribe and the notification bell to continue this journey of emotional understanding together. So how exactly does childhood create this perfectionistic pattern? Several key experiences tend to shape this path. First, there's conditional love. When affection and approval depend on achievement, children learn that they must earn love through performance. Then, there's high expectations. Parents or caregivers who consistently expect excellence, leaving little room for natural human flaws and learning. There's also critical environments, households where mistakes are met with criticism rather than compassion and guidance. And don't forget modeling. Watching adults in your life drive themselves relentlessly, never satisfied with their own efforts. Perhaps there was emotional unpredictability in your home. When adults' reactions were inconsistent or explosive, you may have learned that perfection was the only way to create safety. Or maybe there was emotional absence. Achievement became the only reliable way to get attention and connection. For some, it was praise that created this pattern. Being consistently celebrated for achievements rather than efforts or character, you became the smart one, the talented one, the responsible one. And soon, that identity became a cage. These experiences create deeply held beliefs. Mistakes are dangerous. Vulnerability leads to rejection. My worth is measured by my achievements. I am what I accomplish. And these beliefs become the invisible architects of your adult life. The first step toward change is recognition. How do you know if this pattern is driving your life? Listen to your inner dialogue. Does a small mistake ruin your entire day? Do you avoid trying new things unless you're certain you'll excel? Is not good enough the constant refrain in your mind? Do you feel like an imposter despite your achievements? Are you exhausted from constantly trying to maintain an image of competence? Notice your physical responses, the tightness in your chest when you make a small error, the difficulty sleeping when something isn't just right, the headaches from constant self-criticism. Your body has been trying to tell you something. It's been carrying the weight of impossible standards for too long. The journey away from perfectionism begins with a simple truth. You were always worthy of love, just as you were. As a child, as you are now. No achievements required. Here's how we begin to dismantle this pattern. First, bring awareness to the voice of perfectionism. When it speaks, recognize it for what it is. Not truth, but a protective mechanism formed long ago. Ah, there you are again, I hear you, but I don't need to follow you. Second, practice self-compassion. Speak to yourself as you would speak to a child you love deeply, with patience, with kindness, with understanding that mistakes are how we learn and grow. Third, experiment with good enough. Start small. Leave a task at 80% completion. Send an email with a minor typo. Share an unfinished idea. Watch as the world continues to turn. Fourth, redefine success. Beyond outcomes, beyond recognition. What if success meant being present, being authentic, being kind to yourself and others? Finally, seek healing for the child within. The part of you that believed love was conditional, that believed perfection was possible, that believed safety came from flawlessness. This inner child needs to hear what perhaps no one told them. You are enough, exactly as you are. Your worth is not tied to what you do. You are loved for your essence, not your excellence. Breaking free from perfectionism is not a perfect process. There will be steps forward and back, moments of freedom and moments of falling into old patterns. This is not just okay, it's beautifully human. As we close today, I invite you to place a hand on your heart. Feel the steadiness of its rhythm. It has never needed to beat perfectly to keep you alive. Your imperfect heart, with all its unique rhythms and murmurs, has carried you this far. And your imperfect life, with all its messiness and beauty, is not something to perfect. It's something to experience fully, to embrace wholly, to live authentically. If these words have touched something in you today, I'd be honored to continue this journey together. Subscribe to join our community of fellow travelers on this path of emotional understanding. Until next time, remember, you were never meant to be perfect. You were meant to be whole. Thank you for watching. If you found value in this reflection, please consider sharing it with someone who might need these words today.